pop punk is kind of making a resurgence in pop music these days. Whether it be, you know, like just what's going viral on TikTok, or whether it be Olivia Rodrigo or even Machine Gun Kelly doing this like pop punk thing. And it's interesting to see like where people are doing it, and it's like, okay, that's cool. It sounds just like pop punk. But then there's people like that you could tell, I guess, grew up on it and like really know the references that are now reincarnating it. And it's like, look, Machine Gun Kelly's like 30 years old. Like he wasn't and I think it sounds pretty authentic. You know, like
yes,
Olivia
exactly.
Rodrigo, it sounds really authentic as opposed to the people that like, you know, know of it, but it's not true to them. And then, you know,
yes.
It's very interesting. Kind of like in retrospect of like, oh, that's why it doesn't sound dated. It sounds a refreshed version of, you know, something that happened before.
It's made with love.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can tell the love by the knowledge of the past and by loving all these things. If you do it in a cynical way, it's gonna shine through.
Yeah.
And people will know. It really does. And it's, again, like, it's this very vague, this very kind of floating in the air statement of like, well, if you do it with love, you know, it'll shine through. But that's really what it is, because music is a very subjective and in a way a very floaty kind of thing. Why do people love a certain song? Who knows? But why do you know what I mean? Like, why do we hate artist X and why do we love artist Y? Why do we hate song X? Why do we love song Y? Why is song 8 on the album the one that blows up and the rest of the songs don't? Because, I don't know, because floaty magic particles that everyone seems to respond to, and you can't really analyze it that way. Except love? I don't know. You know, it's the fifth dimension in the Interstellar movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's
exactly,
or the fourth dimension, I guess.
Yeah.
I think the that's what I'm learning, is this alchemy that you can't really analyze.
Yeah.
And because I like to analyze everything, because that's where I come from. I'm
exactly.
super analytical, right? Yeah. So why does X, Y, and Z not, or why does 1, 2, 3 not equal 4? Because love or whatever. And that means nothing, but also it means everything.
Like that. It's like the classic cliche of like, there's no rules in love kind of thing. There's no rules in love and war kind of thing, right? And it's like, but it's the truth. Like 1 + 2 does not equal 3 with love. You know what I mean? It's like, because that's a great analogy. Because you, like you said, like you're like, I'm super analytical too, and I'm like, wait, 1 + 2 should equal 3, but it doesn't. And why doesn't it here? Like, what's going on? And it's the love aspect of it, which is crazy.
It's the fairy dust.
It sounds ridiculous, but it's the truth, man.
Yeah. It's the fairy dust, and it's also why, you know, it really didn't click for me until I started figuring that part for myself.
Yeah.
3-4 years ago, and all of a sudden now, any time I make a record that I truly love, I can always say like that was well written, right? Because there's a part of me that has done the 20,000 hours of writing songs, and I know a song that's well written, and that's completely fine. And if it's not a song that I like is in my bones, or a style that's in my bones, or a lyric that's in my bones, I'll come to friends and be like, hey, what do you think? Is this something that, you know, I need people's reassurance, like 4 or 5 friends that I always call and text and be like, what do you think of this? And if enough of them say this is great, I'm like, sweet, I trust you guys. I think it's great too. But there's records that I do myself that specifically for a lot, you know, Sex on the Beach, the artist project that I work on, that's like my passion project. And I know it's great because I think it's great, because I love it. I don't need anyone to tell me that, because this is the music that I literally grew up on.
Yeah.
And people come to me with that kind of stuff. Like, hey, do you think this is like the right kind of groove, or is this the right kind of movement, or is this stanky enough, or is this swinging enough, or is this lazy enough, or is this lyric weird enough, or any of the 1,000 reasons why I might get stank face? Because, you know, that's the term we all use. If you go this,
exactly,
that's good. You know what I mean? Yeah. If something gives me stank face, I know it's where it's supposed to be, and until it does, I don't think it's there yet.
Yeah.
But I only get stank face from stuff that I grew up on, because that's the stuff that's in my bones.
Yeah, and somebody else might get it from something else.
Somebody else might get it from, you know, from Metallica or whatever, and that's totally fine. I'm not going to be the barometer of what's like a great what's a great Metallica record.
Yeah, that's true.
I just can't do it.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
And again, that's just because that was my background, and that was the thing I had to learn, which is like, use your full past, use your full background in the art you make. You know how to write a pop song. Now, how do you make it yours in a way that sets you apart as a brand? Like for writers and producers, you still have to have a brand. You're the guy or you're the guy or the girl that does this thing.
Oh, that's very
People
interesting.
Have to know.
Sure.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I thought branding was just for artists, but in a way, like your reputation is your brand. If people think Ben Samama, usually they think one thing,
Hmm.
right? They think, uh, well, now currently it's K-pop because that's where most of my work is. But they think either big sexy ballads because a lot of my cuts have been big sexy ballads, or like big dramatic male records, or hopefully soon Sex on the Beach, which is like the project I'm working on most. And that is like nasty funk record mixed with like dance beats, basically, in a very unexpected way, and it's very strange, and I love it so much.